Thursday, May 1st, 1707. The time, noon. In Edinburgh, Scotland, a document is signed that officially unites England and Scotland into one state, the Kingdom of Great Britain. This act, aimed at bringing economic prosperity and political stability, seems to mark a new era of unity. But while the United Kingdom would grow to become one of the world's most influential powers, its geography tells a different story, a story of division. The rugged Highlands of Scotland, the rolling plains of England, the volcanic terrain of Wales, and the lush greenery of Northern Ireland have shaped distinct cultures, languages, and identities. How did these landscapes create such stark regional differences? Why have these divisions endured for centuries, even as the UK expanded its empire and became a global force? And how does the geography of the UK continue to influence politics, economics, and identity today? Stay with us as we unravel the story of the United Kingdom's divided geography and its lasting impact on this complex union, a patchwork of landscapes and identities. The United Kingdom is a nation united by law but divided by geography. Spanning 4 countries, England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, the UK is an island nation of striking contrasts, where landscapes have shaped history, culture, and identity in profound ways. England, the heartland of power. England, the largest and most populous country in the UK, is characterized by rolling plains, fertile farmland, and gentle hills. Its geography has always been a source of strength. The relatively flat terrain and navigable rivers like the Thames and Severn made trade and communication easy, fostering economic growth and centralization. It's no coincidence that England became the seat of power in the Union. From the medieval cities of London and York to the industrial hubs of Manchester and Birmingham, England's geography supported the development of infrastructure and commerce. This foundation allowed it to dominate the political and economic life of the UK, creating tensions with its neighbors. Scotland, a land of resistance. To the north, Scotland offers a dramatic contrast. The rugged Highlands, with their steep mountains and deep glens, have long been a symbol of independence and defiance. Historically, this challenging terrain made large-scale farming difficult, leading to a reliance on pastoralism and small self-sufficient communities. The geography of Scotland also served as a natural barrier against invasions. The Romans, unable to conquer the northern tribes, built Hadrian's Wall to mark the edge of their empire. Later, during centuries of conflict between Scotland and England, the Highlands became a stronghold for resistance, most famously during the Jacobite uprisings of the 17th and 18th centuries. But Scotland isn't just mountains. The central lowlands, home to cities like Edinburgh and Glasgow, are more hospitable and fertile, supporting urbanization and industrial development. This geographic diversity has contributed to Scotland's distinct identity, one rooted in both resilience and innovation. Wales, the rugged frontier. To the west, Wales is defined by its mountainous terrain and rugged coastline. The Cambrian Mountains and Brecon Beacons dominate the landscape, shaping the culture and history of the Welsh people. These natural barriers help preserve the Welsh language and traditions, even as England extended its influence over the region. Despite its smaller size, Wales played a crucial role in the UK's Industrial Revolution, thanks to its abundant coal reserves. The mining towns of South Wales became economic powerhouses, fueling Britain's rise as an industrial superpower. Yet the harsh working conditions and economic dependency created a unique sense of Welsh identity, tied to both pride and struggle. Northern Ireland, a complex landscape. Across the Irish Sea, Northern Ireland is a land of rolling hills, volcanic plateaus, and rugged coastlines. Its geography is as diverse as its history, with fertile land in the east supporting agriculture and the basalt columns of the Giant's Causeway showcasing its volcanic origins. However, Northern Ireland's geography also reflects its divisions. The River Bann, which cuts through the region, has often been seen as a symbolic divide between communities. The Troubles, a period of sectarian conflict in the late 20th century, highlighted how geography could both unite and fracture a population. A union of diversity. These distinct landscapes have shaped the UK's cultures, languages, and economies, creating a patchwork of identities that are as varied as the terrain itself. While the Act of Union in 1707 brought England and Scotland together, and subsequent acts incorporated Wales and Northern Ireland, geography ensured that regional differences would persist. But how have these geographic divisions influenced the political and economic life of the UK? From industrial revolutions to modern-day devolution, the story of the UK's geography is one of constant negotiation between unity and independence. Geography's role in political and economic power. The United Kingdom's geography has not only shaped its regional identities, but also determined the distribution of political and economic power. While England emerged as the dominant force within the Union, the differing landscapes and resources of Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland created tensions that still resonate today. England's economic heart. England's geography, with its fertile farmland, navigable rivers, and relatively flat terrain, allowed it to industrialize earlier and faster than the rest of the UK. The Industrial Revolution, which began in the late 18th century, transformed cities like Manchester, Birmingham, and London into global economic powerhouses. Coal from northern England fueled factories, while ports along the southern coast facilitated international trade. This economic dominance translated into political power. London, already established as the capital of England, became the administrative center of the entire UK. Its location on the Thames River made it a hub for commerce and communication, reinforcing England's control over the Union. But England's economic success came at a cost. As industries boomed, wealth became concentrated in urban centers, leaving rural areas and other parts of the UK behind. These disparities fueled resentment among Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, whose economies were often seen as secondary to England's. Scotland. Industry and independence. Scotland's geography limited large-scale agriculture, but its abundant natural resources made it a key player during the Industrial Revolution. The central lowlands, rich in coal and iron, became a center for shipbuilding, steel production, and engineering. Glasgow, once known as the second city of the empire, thrived as a hub of industry and trade. However, Scotland's reliance on heavy industry left it vulnerable to economic shifts. The decline of shipbuilding and manufacturing in the 20th century led to widespread unemployment and social unrest. This economic hardship, combined with Scotland's distinct cultural identity, reignited calls for greater autonomy and eventually led to the establishment of the Scottish Parliament in 1999. Wales, coal, culture, and struggle. Wales played a vital role in fueling the UK's industrial growth. Its coalfields, particularly in South Wales, powered factories and railways across Britain. Towns like Merthyr Tydfil and Cardiff became symbols of industrial might, exporting coal to the world. Yet, like Scotland, Wales suffered from the decline of heavy industry. As mines closed in the mid-20th century, many Welsh communities faced economic collapse. This decline also highlighted the cultural marginalization of Wales within the UK. Efforts to revive the Welsh language and celebrate its unique heritage gained momentum, culminating in the creation of the Welsh Assembly in 1999. Northern Ireland, a divided economy. Northern Ireland's geography, with its fertile farmland and access to the Irish Sea, made it an agricultural and industrial hub. Belfast, the capital, became a center for shipbuilding, producing some of the world's largest ships, including the Titanic. However, economic disparities and sectarian divisions shaped Northern Ireland's history. The predominantly Protestant East often prospered, while the Catholic West faced poverty and neglect. These divisions were exacerbated during the Troubles, a period of violent conflict from the late 1960s to the 1998 Good Friday Agreement. As the UK entered the 20th century, its geography continued to shape its internal dynamics. How did the physical and cultural divides influence the Union's political struggles? And could the UK maintain unity in the face of growing demands for independence? The push for devolution and regional identity. By the late 20th century, the geographic and cultural divisions within the United Kingdom had become impossible to ignore. Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, each shaped by their distinct landscapes and histories, began to demand greater autonomy. This push for devolution would redefine the UK's political landscape. Scotland. The road to a referendum. Scotland's rugged geography and long history of resistance had always set it apart from England. By the 20th century, economic struggles and cultural pride fueled a growing independence movement. The discovery of North Sea oil in the 1970s added another layer of complexity, as many Scots argued that the region's natural resources were being exploited for the benefit of the UK rather than Scotland itself. In 1997, Scotland voted overwhelmingly in favor of devolution, leading to the establishment of the Scottish Parliament in 1999. This move granted Scotland significant powers over domestic affairs, from education to healthcare. But the question of full independence remained. In 2014, Scotland held a historic referendum on whether to leave the UK. While the majority voted to stay, the debate over independence continues to dominate Scottish politics, fueled in part by geographic and cultural differences. Wales, cultural revival and autonomy. For centuries, Wales struggled to maintain its identity within the Union. Its mountainous geography, while preserving its language and traditions, also isolated many communities and limited economic opportunities. In the 20th century, a cultural revival helped reignite Welsh pride. Efforts to preserve the Welsh language, coupled with economic struggles in the wake of industrial decline, fueled demands for greater self-governance. The 1997 devolution referendum led to the creation of the Welsh Assembly, giving Wales more control over its domestic policies. Northern Ireland, a fragile piece. Northern Ireland's geography has long mirrored its political and sectarian divides. The fertile lands of the east and the rugged terrain of the west became symbols of economic and cultural separation. The Troubles, a conflict rooted in these divisions, underscored the challenges of governing such a fractured region. The 1998 Good Friday Agreement marked a turning point, establishing a power-sharing government and ending decades of violence. Yet Northern Ireland's geography and politics remain contentious, particularly in the wake of Brexit, which has raised questions about its border with the Republic of Ireland. As devolution reshaped the political landscape of the UK, its geography continued to drive tensions and debates. Could this patchwork union hold together in the face of rising nationalism and regionalism? And how does geography still shape the UK's future in a globalized world? Geography's influence on modern challenges. As the United Kingdom entered the 21st century, its geography remained a defining factor in its political and economic challenges. From the rise of regional nationalism to the complexities of Brexit, the physical and cultural divides of the UK continue to shape its future. The geography of nationalism. The push for independence in Scotland, Wales, and even Northern Ireland has roots in the unique geography of each region. Scotland's rugged Highlands and Lowlands have long fostered a sense of independence, distinct from England's rolling plains. Wales's mountainous terrain has preserved its language and culture, even as it remains economically tied to England. Northern Ireland's geographic and cultural closeness to the Republic of Ireland keeps the possibility of reunification an ever-present topic of debate. These geographic identities fuel nationalist movements that seek greater autonomy or even independence from Westminster. For Scotland, the central question revolves around economic sovereignty. Many argue that Scotland's resources, including North Sea oil, could support an independent state. In Northern Ireland, the post-Brexit landscape has renewed discussions about borders. With the Republic of Ireland remaining in the European Union, Northern Ireland has become a unique point of friction, raising questions about the region's future within the UK. Brexit, a geographic dilemma. The decision to leave the European Union in 2016 exposed stark geographic divides within the UK. England and Wales voted to leave, while Scotland and Northern Ireland voted to remain. These results highlighted how geography influences economic priorities and cultural ties. For Scotland, access to European markets and partnerships was seen as critical, particularly for industries like fishing and renewable energy. Similarly, Northern Ireland's open border with the Republic of Ireland, a key part of the Good Friday Agreement, became a flashpoint in Brexit negotiations. Brexit has also deepened economic disparities within the UK. England's coastal regions, which once thrived on trade and manufacturing, have been hit hard by the economic fallout, while urban centers like London remain global hubs. This divide between rural and urban areas reflects the broader geographic challenges facing the UK. Economic imbalances. Geography has always played a role in the UK's economic inequalities. London and the southeast dominate as financial and political centres, benefiting from proximity to trade routes and infrastructure. Meanwhile, regions like the north of England, Scotland, and Wales have struggled with deindustrialization and underinvestment. Efforts to level up the UK have sought to address these imbalances, with initiatives like infrastructure projects and increased regional funding. However, geography complicates these efforts. The cost of building transport links through mountainous Wales or remote parts of Scotland is significantly higher than in England's urbanized southeast. Cultural resilience amid modernization. Despite these challenges, geography also supports cultural resilience. Scotland's Highlands, Wales's valleys, and Northern Ireland's countryside remain bastions of local traditions and identity. Festivals, languages, and historical landmarks rooted in these regions continue to thrive, even as urbanization and globalization reshape the UK. As the UK grapples with the challenges of division and unity, its geography remains both a source of strength and a driver of discord. Can this patchwork nation overcome its divides to build a cohesive future? Or will the forces of geography and history pull it apart? The United Kingdom's future, unity or division? As the United Kingdom faces an uncertain future, its geography remains a powerful force, shaping the nation's identity and challenges. From the mountains of Scotland to the rolling plains of England and the rugged coastlines of Wales and Northern Ireland, the land itself is a reminder of the diversity within the Union. But will these differences continue to coexist, or will they eventually lead to separation? The question of Scottish independence. Scotland remains at the forefront of the UK's internal divisions. Its geography, rich in resources like oil, renewable energy potential, and fertile fishing grounds, makes independence a feasible option for many Scots. The 2014 referendum may have resulted in a no vote, but Brexit has reignited calls for another vote, with many Scots arguing that their future lies in closer ties to Europe rather than the UK. The rugged Highlands, which have long symbolized Scotland's independence, now stand as a rallying point for nationalist sentiment. As Scotland weighs its options, its geography could again play a decisive role in shaping its political destiny. Wales, balancing identity and unity. While Wales has a strong sense of cultural identity, its economic dependence on the UK complicates calls for independence. Its mountainous terrain has limited large-scale development, and many Welsh communities rely on funding from Westminster. However, the preservation of the Welsh language and traditions is a testament to Wales's resilience. As the nation continues to push for greater autonomy, its geography, both a challenge and a source of pride, will shape its path forward. Northern Ireland, a divided landscape. In Northern Ireland, geography has always mirrored political and sectarian divisions. The border with the Republic of Ireland remains a contentious issue, particularly in the wake of Brexit. For many, the idea of reunification with Ireland is gaining traction, but deep cultural and political divides make the future uncertain. The physical geography of Northern Ireland, its rivers, hills, and farmland, has long symbolized both unity and separation. Whether these divisions will deepen or resolve remains one of the UK's most pressing questions. The role of England. England, the dominant force within the UK, also faces its own challenges. The concentration of wealth and power in London and the southeast has left many northern and rural communities feeling neglected. Calls for greater regional representation and investment have grown louder, highlighting the need for a more balanced approach to governance. England's geography, once a source of unity and strength, is now a reminder of the inequalities that divide the nation. Whether these gaps can be bridged will play a critical role in the UK's future. A nation at a crossroads. The United Kingdom's geography has always been a double-edged sword. Its islands and regions have allowed it to develop a rich tapestry of cultures and traditions, but they have also created barriers that are difficult to overcome. As the UK navigates the 21st century, the question remains, can this patchwork nation remain united, or will the forces of geography and history pull it apart? The answer will depend on how the people of the UK choose to balance their shared identity with their regional differences. Conclusion. The United Kingdom's divided geography is both a challenge and a strength. Its mountains, plains, and coasts have shaped the nation's history, culture, and politics in profound ways. Whether it remains a united kingdom or evolves into something new, its geography will continue to influence its destiny. If you found this exploration of the UK's divided geography insightful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories about how geography shapes the world. What do you think? Will the UK remain united, or are we witnessing the beginning of a new chapter? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.